welcome back to my channel. I am Adam Buchanan. Today we are waxing a snowboard. So if you're on this video, you are interested in learning how to wax a snowboard, and I'm gonna show you how. Super simple, couple steps. You just need some equipment. If you're finding that you are waxing quite a bit, if you're doing it for multiple family members or just yourself, but you want that really nice finish each time for your riding, it's worth investing in some of the equipment. It's actually pretty cost effective to get in, and you can do it right before a big powder day. You can do it at midnight, whatever. You don't have to wait for a shop. So definitely worth looking into, and I'm gonna show you how. And hey, if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. Welcome to my community. Stoked you're here. First thing I like to do is just kind of clean it off, make sure there's no dirt or anything on the board before we really dive into this thing. Definitely good to just get all the dust off. Sometimes these have been sitting for a while, and it's really important to get them nice and clean. This board has definitely seen better days. So one thing you'll notice is just kind of a lot of light scratching, things like that, a lot of white, and you really want that dark finish. So this will look really cool after we're done. First thing I like to do once it's kind of cleaned up, I start with edging first, and I just use a simple edger. It's really easy to use. It's got a little arrow so you always know which direction you're going. And we're gonna do the side of the edge and then the bottom of the edge. What you do, find your arrow, push down, and just try to let the edger do the work. Try not to grind into it too much, kind of lightly go along. Then you go around the face, do the same thing. So you're getting both sides of the edge. One thing about this is nice, you can just flip it, go the other direction if you're not getting enough grab. This thing's really nice, and it's pretty cost effective to replace. These are about 12 bucks. Nice way to get some good sharp edges. All right, so once you're done with the edging and you feel pretty good about it, this should be pretty clean. If it's not, these are really nice to have, little edger, little pumice type of thing. They get worn out pretty bad. I need a new one, but these come with a lot of kits, so you can kind of go over the edges and just kind of remove some of those burrs, some of those rust spots. So we're done edging. I like to clean it one more time because there'll always be a little bit of stuff left over, and before you wax, you don't want any of that on this board. Another thing, before you get started, you want to turn on your iron and just let it warm up. So I had my iron on. I do it to the max, which is just north of 160. So on your iron, you'll have it pretty warm. And the reason why I do that is just so it can lay down the wax when you're dripping really quickly. The wax I'm using right now is this one, Days Hot Wax. I've been using Swix. They have a good universal. This is a universal. They also have a really cool sticker that comes in the box as well. I'll have to put that up in the shop. Okay, so we got our wax here. And then what I like to do is just angle it like this and then put the wax on that bottom corner. It'll put down the wax pretty well. All right, so you can see right there. And on boards, you want to put down quite a bit. You want to get some really good coverage, especially on the edges. That's where you kind of have that lighter discoloring. Get that all in there. There you go. Now what I like to do is, that was super hot, so you want to turn it down to about 140. The reason for that is you don't need it super hot to start to move the wax around. You don't want to burn the board, so you got to keep it moving. So I kind of let it simmer down here for a second. And then I keep things moving pretty good. I just want to get really good coverage, and you can tell by the color of the snowboard or the ski where you have coverage and where you don't. You'll start to see it, get that really nice bold look, kind of bring those skis or that board back to life. The other thing I'll just say, there will be some wax coming off the board onto the ground. So whatever you have down below, you just want to be thoughtful of. It can get really messy really quick. Just make sure you're doing it in a place where you're not going to get in trouble with a roommate or a spouse. So we're just going to move that around. And then the other thing you can do too is on the other side of the board, put your hand underneath and just feel. And if it's warm, then you know that spot or that area is good to go. So just make sure you get really good coverage. Don't be afraid to kind of keep going. Grab your block if you need more, put some more on, but this thing moves it around really well. Most waxers will have just a clean bottom. These have the holes and the little things. It's not bad, but I have heard that it's better to have just the clean bottom. It's a little bit more, but I've heard it's worth it. So whatever makes sense for you, you're gonna save a lot of money pretty quick doing it yourself, so I promise it's worth it. Wax is on, it's been spread out. We're gonna let it sit for a minute. If I'm doing multiple boards, I will actually take this off the rack, let it dry, let it adhere, get it really dialed in, and work on something else just for a few minutes. I'll do edging on another pair of skis or a board, and that works really, really nicely. And you just wanna make sure it has time to really set. Okay, now we're gonna talk about scrapers. So this was a scraper that came with my race wax package, and that's a good way to go, just getting everything in a package. You get a lot. This is kind of worn out, doesn't really work super well, but one thing I do like is that little edger right there. That helps clean up the edges, get all that wax off. This one of the Don't Eat Yellow Snow package came with one as well, and it's got the corner, which is really nice. And it was cool that they included a scraper. Swix makes a really good scraper. I've been using this for a while, but it's kind of worn out. But this was like, I can't remember how much it was, like 10 or 12 bucks. This just came with the wax, so that was a nice surprise that Days did, so props to them. This is about ready to scrape, so I'll kind of show you what that process looks like. This is a scraper that I've used for a while. It's still pretty good. It's got a good clean edge. This one's better. Just make sure to upgrade your scrapers every once in a while. Depends on how often you're doing it, and then you also include, you get one of these in the race wax. Which is really nice to kind of buff things out as well. So let's go ahead and start scraping. You hold it kind of away from you, so bend it like this. And you're just gonna start pulling and just start taking that wax off. And you'll see pretty quickly, you know, what wax still needs to come off, where you're getting, so just in that one scrape, it took off quite a bit. So go back over that same spot, kind of change your pressure of your thumbs, kind of move it around a little bit. Make sure you're taking off that wax. And you do this across the whole board. And they say you'll know when you're done when there is no more wax coming off your board. So that's kind of an indicator. Like I said, this can get really messy, so just make sure you have I have a bucket down below that I'll put this in. And yeah, just watch your floor, it can get really nasty. Shop vacs are good, suck all that stuff up. Here's another angle of taking off that wax. I don't know what it looks like. It's pretty fun, like you start to really appreciate, you know, getting a good clean board, good clean skis. And when you're riding now and you feel that change, it's awesome, especially if you're doing it for the family. You save a lot of money, save some time. You're not running it to the shop, especially if you don't live close to a shop. This works really well. Real quick, so I just want to give a big shout out to my friends at Level Gloves. These are my favorite gloves. They're awesome. I actually work with them. I help do some of their marketing, and they're awesome. I love the dexterity, the warmth. You can get different warmth ratings, whatever you need. But this is the Rexford. Just want to give a shout out to them. Ski season is not over. Here in Utah, we're getting some late winter storms, so it's still pretty awesome. If you want a discount, check in the description below. We are doing a 20% off deal right now. They're phenomenal. Good protection, just good all around glove. I have another glove that I wear on my my dirt bike actually. It's a really thin one, good warmth. And anyway, check out Level Gloves. They're phenomenal. Okay, once you're done waxing, it's really important to get all just the little extras off. That's why I like this pad. Really cleans things up nice. Works out super, super well. But yeah, just get all the extras off. And then next thing you're gonna want is a brush. And so brushes are really nice to kind of put in those nice lines and just really finish off this wax. So I come along, and this is where your OCD levels are found very quickly of how you want those lines. It looks really, really nice. It's a good finish. And this just helps finish the last stage of that wax. And you're gonna get a few little extras. If you get little, I don't know, wax crumbs or something, just kind of brush them off with this. This is not super complicated, and you're not in, you know, too much money in that first investment. And honestly, after a season of doing this, you pretty much pay off your materials. I mean, this wax was, I think, $14 with a scraper. The kit that I got, the iron, the braces here that you see, I think I paid $100 for the kit, and it came with like brushes, scrapers, a little bit of P-Tex, other things like that. So, you know, not too much, especially if you're doing multi. I mean, I've got 4 kids and my wife, so there's 6 of us, so I'm waxing quite a bit. And this winter I started hiring out. This is actually a customer's board here. Fun. It's actually been a really fun side hustle. It's a lot funner than yard sale flipping, if you're into that. And this has just been great. A lot of people really want their stuff done well. And I've even had people drop off 5, 6, 7 pairs of their family skis. They just want them all done and get them on that same kind of cycle. Works out really well. So there's that finished product. It's a lot better. Lost a lot of that white, hazy color. Just a lot more cleaner. Looks really good. Yeah, I love how this turned out, and this customer's gonna love it. So that's how you wax a snowboard. Super simple, not too bad, and actually kind of fun. Once you get into a groove, you can learn a lot. You can learn how to do little repairs. It's pretty cool. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, join my community, and I've got more stuff coming, more how-tos, a lot of good stuff. Also want to give a shout out to some of my recent friends that have joined. Thank you so much. Ryan Amaral, Matt Singley, Feed the Habit, Jason Mitchell, Paul Reen. Thanks for joining. You guys are awesome. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for being here. Make sure to share this with somebody who may ask you, how do you wax a snowboard? Send this to them, text it to them. This walks you through everything. It's easy. Got links below on what equipment I buy. Shop around. There's a lot of good options out there. Yeah, have fun and happy waxing. I can't believe I just said happy waxing. Who says that? What I should have ended with is don't eat yellow snow. That's what I should have ended with. So I don't know what I was thinking.